Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of Whiteboard series. In this episode, we are going to learn how lust ruins relationships, how it ruins marriage, and so many other things in life. So let us learn about this using examples with respect to Kundalini and with respect to the entire cosmos. So first, let us learn how it affects the Kundalini. So for that, we will take one example of Ramesh, Rohini, and Aditi. So I have given this example so that you will understand how exactly it ruins the relationship. So let's say Ramesh is in love with Rohini. So let's say they get married and Ramesh has been married to Rohini since maybe 5 years. So 5 years he's with Rohini with full of love, but then he slowly starts getting disinterested in Rohini. He will feel an attraction towards Aditi. So this is called as lust. So he will get attracted to Aditi. Let's say Aditi is a film actress, some heroine in some movie, and he has fallen in love with that movie actress. And now Ramesh no longer feels attracted towards Rohini. He's still in love with Rohini. He's still in a marriage with Rohini, but he's no longer attracted towards Rohini because he's more attracted towards Aditi. So that is called as Swadhisthana attraction. But in initial days, when he fell in love with Rohini, it was through Anahata. Through the Anahata chakra, he fell in love with Rohini. But after 5 years of marriage, he started getting attracted towards Aditi through the Swadhisthana chakra. So as I told in the previous videos, the Mooladhara chakra represents the desire for food and sleep, Swadhisthana chakra represents the desire for sex, Manipura chakra represents the desire for money, fame, power, Anahata chakra represents the desire for love, Vishuddha chakra represents the desire for speech, Agna chakra represents desire to think, and finally Sahasrara chakra represents desire to exist. So these are the chakras which are related to our desires. So Ramesh is sexually attracted towards Aditi, but through Anahata he is attracted towards Rohini. Now what happens is, let's say he has sexual activities with Aditi, and when the sexual activities are done, the orgasm leads to fall in Kundalini. So the Kundalini gets generated by the food and sleep. So whenever we eat food, the sleep converts the food into energy. This potent energy is called as Kundalini, and this energy travels upwards. So when it travels to the Swadhisthana chakra, that is the desire for sex, where reproduction happens, so he, Ramesh, wastes this Swadhisthana Kundalini on Aditi, and he no longer has the Kundalini left for the Anahata chakra. So let's say this Kundalini is like a rocket fuel. So let's say this is the top of the rocket, this is the bottom of the rocket. So if the Kundalini reaches the topmost part of the rocket, then Ramesh goes beyond the Maya created by Tripura Sundari. So Tripura Sundari is the universal mother who created this Maya. So inside the Maya, there are 3 realms, that is the causal realm, astral realm, physical realm. She has constructed it in such a way that the physical realm is overlapping the astral and causal, astral is overlapping the causal, and causal is independent of the astral and physical realm. So what that means is, physical realm is completely dependent on the astral and causal because it is overlapping those 2 realms. Astral is also overlapping the causal. And finally, the causal is independent of the other 2 realms because it is one of the biggest realms, and it doesn't require the existence of astral and physical. So the parts of causal which you are seeing outside the astral are completely independent of these 2, whereas the physical realm itself has astral and causal counterparts. The astral realm has its own causal counterpart. Causal realm doesn't have any counterparts. Now, she has constructed it in such a way that the physical realm has the lower 3 chakras, that is the desire for food and sleep, desire for sex, and desire for money, fame, power, that is Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura chakra. And the astral realm consists of the upper or middle 2 chakras, that is Anahata chakra and Vishuddha chakra, that is the desire for love and desire for speech. And finally, the causal realm has the last 2 chakras, that is desire of intellect and desire to exist, that is the Agna chakra and Sahasrara chakra. So she has constructed it in such a way that whoever has more desires, they go to the lower chakras. Whoever has less desires, they stay in the upper chakras. So let's say you are a consciousness. You are the pure state of consciousness, that is Sadashiva. Now Sadashiva has desires. Let's say he has a desire to communicate with other fellow consciousness. So what happens is he goes to the lower chakra, that is Sahasrara, Agna, Vishuddha. He comes to the Vishuddha. Through the Vishuddha, he communicates with other astral beings, because Vishuddha and Anahata belong to the astral realm. So he never descends to the physical. He only stays in the astral. Similarly, let's say a pure state of consciousness has desire to eat food. So what happens is it has to travel all the way to the Muladhara chakra to enjoy the desire of food. So the consciousness has to go through Vaikuntha Loka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Bhuvaloka, Bhurloka. So it has come to Bhurloka, or the lower 7 planets, that is Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, and whatever. It has to come to the lower planets to enjoy the desire for food. So that is how the Kundalini and the desire works. So Tripura Sundari, the universal mother, she puts the respective consciousness as per the respective desire. So if you have the lower 3 chakra desires, you will be put to physical realm. The upper middle 2 desires will be put to astral, and the final upper 2 desire will be put to causal. So that is how she puts respective consciousness to respective realms, depending on the desire level. Now, Ramesh, who was sexually attracted to Aditi, is losing his Swadhisthana Kundalini because of the sexual orgasm, and he is no longer feeling love of the Anahata, because the Kundalini, once it's wasted in the act of sex or masturbation or whatever, then it no longer serves the upper chakras. You will not have the desire for money, fame, power. You will not have the desire for love. The motivation to earn money, motivation for love won't be there anymore, because your Swadhisthana orgasm is already happened and the Kundalini has been wasted. So when he returns back home, so let's say after some affair with Aditi, he returns back home with completely empty Kundalini, without any energy in the Anahata. And when he comes back home, Rohini, she feels different. That is, she feels like, why is my husband not loving me? What is wrong with him? Why is he acting weird? So that thing starts. So Rohini starts suspecting Ramesh. Is he in love with some other girl? So all that happens. So this happens because Ramesh has no longer Kundalini in the Anahata. In the initial days, that is before 5 years, Ramesh fell in love with Rohini through the Anahata, that is through pure unconditional love. He also married her for 5 years. And now the marriage is on the verge of destruction. That is, the marriage is going to be ruined because of his Swadhisthana. Because he was lusting over Aditi, his marriage is going to be ruined. What will happen is Rohini will suspect Ramesh, and she will confront him, saying that, are you in love with some other woman? So then somehow or the other, she finds out that Ramesh has been lusting over Aditi, that is the movie actress, for so many months. And now Ramesh will be filed for divorce. That is, she will tell, I want to file a divorce with you. And that is how the marriage of Ramesh and Rohini will be spoiled because of the lust. Now, what was the mistake of Ramesh? Ramesh, once he fell in love through the Anahata, he should have never forgotten how it feels to have the Anahata love, because the Anahata love is so unconditional. It is like how Ram loved Sita. It is like how Radha loved Krishna, and vice versa. So the unconditional love is without any thoughts, without any expectation. So it doesn't have anything in it. The Anahata love is pure. It is innocent. It is like how a mother loves a child. So that is how Ramesh fell in love with Rohini in the initial days. And even she fell in love with Ramesh in the similar manner, through the Anahata. Anahata is an inexplainable kind of love. Even I am not able to explain what is love in the Anahata, because it cannot be expressed through words. Only a person who truly has felt it with the other person will know what is Anahata love. That is, he will be ready to do anything for Rohini. That is, whatever Rohini wants in the world, he will try to do it if he had the Anahata love. But the problem is that he lost his Kundalini through the Swadhisthana because of external affair, and he no longer has the Kundalini in the Anahata. So that is why now he no longer can love Rohini, because he doesn't have any energy. Now this marriage is ruined. It leads to breakup, it leads to divorce, It leads to so many other things. And now Ramesh is still stuck in the physical world because he's still living in the lower three chakras, that is Manipura, Swadhisthana, Mooladhara. So he's still addicted to sex, addicted to food, addicted to money, fame, power. So he's still behind the lower three chakras and he is still in the physical realm.